Well, hello. Ooh. If you've seen other videos of mine, you'll know that when I hear things crashing from the trees, I always look. Because branches and things fall down all the time, like this big tree. Anyway. Oh, okay, so here I am on another water walk. I'm coming to get my water. There's the water. It's rainy season, so I have my umbrella, but it's not raining now. So that's really just set decoration, essentially. I have a bit of red and the green, it's nice, eh? Anyway, there's my package. If by any chance you've landed here and haven't seen my other water walking videos, maybe I'll just quickly tell you what I'm up to. I live in the north of Thailand, in the mountains to the east of Chiang Mai, in Chiang Mai province, but very close to the border of Lampang. And I live in a small village up in the mountains that's currently fairly popular with Thai visitors, tourists and things, coming from Bangkok and Chiang Mai. It's probably going to die down eventually. Oh, I have a new hat. It's a lovely new hat. Do you like it? I like it, so I do. See, it said Dallas Cowboys 25th anniversary. I don't know what anniversary of what, but anyway, so I scratched out the Dallas Cowboys, added some red in between the stitches, and of course, an essential Thai spirit right in the middle. Must always be conscious and respectful for the Thai spirits. It's important. Especially the Thai forest spirits. I can tell you personally of my own experience with that. Anyway, yeah, so I walk to get my water. I can buy water in the village, and it's basically water, the same water that comes out of my tap, which is gravity fed from all these streams in the mountains, of which the spring where I get my water from is part of that. But I couldn't probably drink that water out of my tap, but it's a couple kilometers of PVC pipe and stuff. And anyway, so obviously there's like 10 feet of PVC pipe here where I get it from this tap thing. But sometimes I just go to the little pool they made if the flow is really low. But mostly, it's really a kind of meditation on water, and what that means, to walk to get your drinking water. It's very powerful, I think. Very powerful. And it makes me think a lot about the fact that oh, there's a big caterpillar over there. Oh, anyway, I'll leave it be. We assume that it's our right. We actually will use the term right to have drinking water out of a tap. And I have been thinking this a long time. I've often walked for water, like, when I was living more in the bush kind of thing. Though it wasn't all the time, but for sure on my long horse rides, I walked for water all the time. I would walk down, I'd be camped somewhere, and quite often it would be a little distance from a stream or source of good water, which was hard to find sometimes, out in the prairies. So this idea of a right for water, the right to have water we can drink out of the tap. To me, it's insane. All it does is speak to our privilege. I hate that word. So all these buzzwords are coming out all over the place, and I feel like I can't use them anymore. They sound like some kind of liberal. Which, that's another word. Anyway, there's like this fundamentalist liberal thing going on that's full of judgment, right? And to me, it's just the two ends of the spectrum are essentially the same, just have different opinions. Anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, so we think it's okay to flush the toilet with drinking water. It's crazy. Anyway, that's not actually what I wanted to talk about. Anyway, it gives you an idea of my walking. And just the walking, of course, okay, first of all, I walk in the forest here a lot. But if I go through a period where I'm not out in the woods much, like if I'm working at home doing something, like lately I've been doing some video work, it makes me get out, even if I'm not, I gotta get water today. I'm in the woods, a couple kilometers, it's really an hour and a half of my time, not that for me time is really almost never an issue. I can basically never know what time it is or the day. It doesn't matter. Ever. Almost ever. Anyway, which is a nice way to be, I have to say. Anyway, yep. So, what we can learn just by being in nature, obviously, to me, it's so much. And the water being such an absolute essential aspect of our existence, of course, So, anyway, that was that. Talking about the water done. I got my bottles set up, put them in my pack, head home, have the umbrella if it rains. Okay, but anyway, so this continuation from my last water walk. I mentioned I was going to be interviewed. So I was interviewed. So my friends Gina and Alan, Gina from Newfoundland in Canada, and Alan from, I think, Australia. I think so. Anyway, came over and she does these video blogs. She's teaching in Meirim, which is just to the north of Chiang Mai. And it was really fun. They spent the afternoon, went out for dinner after, and they might come back and do some more. There's a lot to cover, right? Pretty interesting, as it turns out. And also I had the lovely interview with Wolfgang, who has a podcast called Faster Than Expected. Schneller als gedacht, I think. Faster Than Expected. Which is, of course, a typical, not typical, but often you'll see articles about climate change and the Arctic ice is melting faster than expected, and you just see it over and over again, and you can just laugh because there's like a whole pile of people that going, yeah, not faster than expected actually. It's right on schedule, as it turns out, Anyway, so that's a whole other thing. It's quite interesting. But the one thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and I've been thinking about it a lot with the interview with Wolfgang, which was great. I really love his work. I love what he's doing, and we're, very different people, and our approach to things are different. Like, I'm just too rambly, right? I think it's just what I am. So who cares? Anyway. But I'll link it on wherever, Facebook or whatever. He's gonna put some audio, like some songs and stuff I've worked on, and things like that. It's really nice. Anyway, it's a lovely talk. But here's the thing. At the end, I think Wolfgang asked about advice to people, how to deal with really the collapse of ecosystems, the collapse of human civilization, and the whole concept of near-term human extinction, which for me is for sure is a thing, but to me it's interesting, the separation. There's near-term human extinction, and then there's the tremendous extinction rates that are happening right now, right? Extinction rates that are happening right now, and they're really it's the same extinction. It's not like, oh, the human extinctions are a different kind of extinction. It's like, no. It's the same extinction that we're in, that we like to, well, of course we do. We're humans. We're in our own world, right? To whatever degree. So we, anyway, but to me it's the same thing, right? So the huge extinction rates, we're not exempt from it, obviously. I think, obviously. Anyway, here's the gist of it. I ended up referencing Derek Jensen, right? And I've really liked Derek Jensen's work for a long time. Actually my friend Sasha told me about his books Endgame. I guess she had read them before me, and she told me about it, and then I realized it like half a year later or something, and she goes, oh, I already told you about those books. I went, hey, I read these books called Endgame. I said, yeah, I told you about them half a year ago. I went, you did? Anyway, so really influential books, and great thinker, all that stuff. As an aside, my cousin who was working at Greenpeace, I said, oh, have you read Endgame? Yeah, I guess I just read them. And they kind of make your brain explode. He says, oh, and he worked at Greenpeace and had a staff. He was involved in fundraising or something. Anyway, he says, oh God, I hate it when my staff read that book. And I started laughing. Anyway, I said, well, why? He says, oh yeah, they read that book and can't even can't get out of their bed for a month, Yeah, well, I could see that. Anyway, so I referenced Derek Jensen, which is basically the whole idea of listening is what it ended up being, which is a nice tie-in. And Wolfgang tied that in, right? Like I don't know about advice for people. What do I know? Just go walking in the woods would be my simplistic advice, although it's certainly valuable. And so he tied that in really nicely. And I said, well, like in Derek Jensen's talk or book or what, I said, whatever, he says, if you want to know how to help a river, ask the river, right? And then I said, and really, as a Western culture, we think, oh, that's a really beautiful metaphor, and it is, but it's also not a metaphor. It's a really direct thing. It's a direct thing. Listen to the river, listen to the forest, what they have to say to you, how to deal with it. And of course, mostly in the industrial West, most people cannot hear that. A lot of people now are starting to hear it, right? Like me, I'm starting to hear it. And I've been working at it all my life. And do you not dream of like, God damn, I wish I lived like 20,000 years ago where there was absolutely no farming stuff going on. And just to imagine the people in various places of the world, wherever it happened to be, to walk into just to step out into their world and hear it, to understand deeply what the connections are, not to articulate it. That's not an issue at all. You don't need to articulate it, but the ability to hear it, just the fact of walking into a forest and knowing the huge amounts of things that they can just have to eat or to use as medicines and stuff. I don't like to. I'm always a little stumbly with that idea of commodifying nature, right? So often you'll hear like John Livingston he says, "Oh yeah, you'll hear a lot of, well, we have to save the Amazon because we don't know what medicines it can give us," right? So and it was an excellent point he made. It's that our culture, even when we try to save nature, it's really for ourselves. It's really about taking. It has little to do with giving or sharing, or the land belongs to us rather than we belong to the land. All that. Anyway, my point that I'm trying to get to is Derek Jensen. I almost can't listen to him anymore. Like I almost feel nauseated, which is a real shame because he's so brilliant. It's just that there's this whole thing about the whole transsexual, transgender, trans thing that he has a stick up his ass around, right? We were friends on Facebook. It's like defriending someone is like the most horrible thing you can do to someone nowadays, right? So anyway, I unfriended him, and then I followed him, right? Thinking, okay, that's going to be better. Because I kept getting hooked into these stupid conversations about trans things. That just, there's a little tiny centipede there. Ooh. Gotta be careful with the big centipedes, like the ones that are foot long. Ooh. I've only seen one up here, actually. But oh my God, the bite they'll give you. Whew. I hear, I've never been bitten, but some people could even be hospitalized. Yeah, anyway, so he has this thing, so anyway, I unfriended him. Because I was just like, oh God. And sometimes I would engage, and try to show different perspectives. And then I just got, oh, this is stupid. This is pointless. Anyway, but I find that by following, I'm still seeing some of his writings and stuff, So that's working out way better. Anyway, yeah, so there's Derek Jensen and his cohort, Lierre Keith. And she wrote a great book called The Vegetarian Myth, I thought it was excellent. But anyway, she's of the same school, and I can't help but think, and I don't know if Jensen figured this out on his own, but I mean, from what I can see, they're big buddies, so they probably collaborated in that little bit of closed-minded thinking. Anyway, whatever, but it kind of strikes me that a couple of people that reference indigenous culture, that reference all kinds of things about nature and being open and empathetic, are like so puritanical, like so like industrial in their ideas of that sort of thing. And I also wrote a piece about the whole idea of transformation. Okay, like a lot of my work is about transformation. A lot, like it's really what I'm interested in is, core thing is nature and trying to look for a way to connect, right? To connect in. I feel like it's our only path forward, right? And so anyway, I don't understand it really. The whole thing with, in a time when we need to transform every aspect of how we exist on the planet, on the land, that as a symbol or metaphor or a reality, maybe there's something in that we can learn from, right? To transform our reality. And I don't know, like I'm kind of the first one to say, there's limits to things. There's limits to what we can do. There's tremendous limits, and that's fine. I think we have to exist within our inner limits. Our limits are governed by our place, right? I mean, our limits have been changed because of oil, fossil fuels, tremendously in the last couple hundred years. And I don't have to say what that has, the result of that. Anyway, I want to do a little walking too, because this is like 16, what are we at? Almost 17 minutes of me talking. They make these so long. Anyway, if you can stick it out, kudos to you on these videos. Some of them were like 20-something minutes long, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, whatever. They're my videos, I can do whatever I want. Right? This is actually a nice thing. Anyway, so yeah, so just that whole thing, Yeah. Oops, I got to make this tap tighter. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I'll just sign up for that for now until I start walking again, and yeah, hope everyone's doing great out there, and get out walking. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I'm going to stop it and switch it. Yeah, see this tree that fell, right? Can you see? Let me just see if I can move this. So let's get this umbrella over here. So if you saw a video I did a while ago, oops, sorry, it's gonna be jumpy. Oosh! You'll know that this tree fell down, right? So there's another tree that went with it, that skinnier tree. Ooh, but the branches, and this looks like there's figs growing off it, but I don't know if they'll grow. But look at this, look at these leaves coming up, hey? Woo! Ooh. Yeah. Such a tremendous. What's the will? I want to say will. Will to grow, to exist. So beautiful. Yeah, I guess maybe. Look, I'm not even walking yet. I'm still blabbing away. Oh, what's this? Oh, look at this. Someone put... Oh, I see. See that little bit of corrugated metal? Someone put that on there lately. I guess that's to protect the spring from the dirt coming down, eh? That's probably it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I guess in terms of what I was talking about... Oh, look at that, eh? Oof. Gorgeous. I don't care. I don't actually care about Jansen's opinions on that stuff, the gender thing, or Leah Keithan. Dmitry Orlov, too, has these sort of... I don't know, I don't want to speak for someone. I don't want to speak badly of someone, and so I'm trying not to do that here. Anyway, they all have sort of ideas about it, and that's fine. I don't care. You can think whatever you want, right? As long as it doesn't interfere with someone's personal path, right? And there's just this whole fundamentalist thing is coming up from both from all ends of the spectrum, I think. Anyway, yeah, so I don't care. I love all their work and their thinking on so many levels, so that's good enough for me, right? I'm not gonna go around hating someone just because they have an opinion, for God's sakes. Who cares? You know, I'm strong enough in my own, I think so. Well, there's a presumptuous thing to say. I'm strong enough in my own opinions to, my own feelings to listen to what other people have to say and not get tossed and bothered. I mean, I guess I do get bothered every now and then I'll write something and then I'll delete it. Because why bother? Anyway, so this is just a, oh, look at this, hey? You see this, this is a banana tree. Look, it's growing up. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, there's one here too. And every now and then, someone will come along and cut it right there. Ding, it's down. And then it just grows again. I think a lot of times, generally speaking, they'll cut the tree down. They'll cut the banana tree down to get the bananas. The tree will fall and then the green bananas, so just gather them, right? And the tree just grows up again. It's just how it's done. Anyway, I'm gonna just have a look. I got a few figs as well. Oh, they're looking really good, eh? Oh yeah, wild figs, yum. Okay, off we go, walking. Oh, I just remembered. Look, I put this valve in last year. I put this in for when it's slow, that I can shut the feed off to the main water tanks, which are like a kilometer down, almost a kilometer down the mountain, eh? We're up pretty high. Ooh. Oh, interesting, that sound. Yeah, so I made that so that I could, if the flow gets slow, I can shut it and it'll come out this little bit where I get my water. It's interesting because, you know, rainy season's coming and, oops, sorry, I banged that. And it's been raining a lot. You might have heard some stories about flooding in Bangkok and Ayutthaya, and huge flooding down in Sri Lanka. Like really horrible, well, horrible, I don't know what to say about that. Anyway, really serious stuff going on with flooding down there. And I guess we're part of the same, I think southwest monsoon that comes in. And I think we've been getting the edge of that really heavy rain they've been getting up there. Of course, they've been getting huge rains down in Sri Lanka, and up north in India, Rajasthan and stuff, it's been hitting 50 degrees for Christ's sakes. Anyway, weather weird. Oh, look at that red, eh? Hoo, hoo, hoo. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. I'll just extend this. Oh, I love anything with red. I love it. Anyway, I love it all. Look at that, eh? Oh yeah, beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, what was I going on about? Rain. Yeah, we had a lot of rain. Some heavy rain, actually, up here. Rains a lot up here. Like, it probably rains more here than, say, in Chiang Mai or wherever. Well, in general, I guess. But we don't get a lot of flooding up where I am because it's just such steep country. There's hardly any, you need some flat land to have some flooding, I guess, you know. So the streams get really big for sure, and that can overflow a touch. But yeah, it's not too much here, but it certainly affects down in the flatlands, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna just be quiet for a while. Wow, 3 minutes already, 4 minutes. Whew. Time sure flies when you're making videos, that's for sure. Maybe I'll just sign off now. See if we can keep this down to, probably can't keep it under 20 minutes. Damn. Anyway, hope everyone's doing okay. Get out in nature if you can. Be part of the takedown of industrial civilization if you can. Good luck with that one. Oh lordy. Okay, ciao. See you later. Oh, let's have a look at the sky. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's gonna rain, that's for sure. Bye. Okay. Ooh, look at this. You're not gonna see it yet? Oh, these butterflies are incredible. It's just a very dull brown. And they're just sitting there, you know what I mean? They're just sitting there. Oh, there it goes. Oh, wow. Oh, and then, oh, what's up there? Can't get really close there. No snakes. Oops, going away now. Oh yeah, so these butterflies, when they're just sitting, oh, it's over here now. They're just like brown, they just blend in, they look like a leaf on the ground. Brilliant. And then when they fly, there's this iridescent blue comes out. It's right there on that rock. Keep an eye, oh jeez. Oh, beautiful.